Hey, what's up, traders? Let me start this video by letting everybody know, in case you didn't know, that this week coming up, Tuesday, CPI numbers, which could have a high impact on the market on Tuesday, 8:30, and that's Eastern time, so an hour before the open. And then Wednesday, the FOMC rate decision at 2 o'clock. So again, high impact on the market. Um, so be careful this week. I have no idea what to expect. I never make any money trying to predict what's going to happen, but knowing these events are coming maybe can help keep you out of trouble, right? Um, so on Friday, you can see the SPY put in a pretty narrow range, but look at the intraday. Kind of an ugly close. Almost makes you wonder, right? What's coming this week? Anyway, I've been doing Saturday videos, kind of recapping some trades from the week. I did something a little bit different this Saturday. I did a tale of two trades comparing what I thought were two very similar setups and two extremely different results. So if you want to see that video, I'm not going to repeat any of it here. It's on my YouTube channel. I think it's entitled, let me look real quick so I don't get it wrong. Anything Can Happen, A Tale of Two Trades. And I go over PHVS on Thursday versus BXRX on Friday. It's kind of an interesting comparison, I think. Let me know what you think if you watch it. All right. What are we watching on Monday? Again, I kind of expect Monday to be dead because of the number coming out Tuesday pre-market. And then maybe some chaos the rest of the week. So we'll see. So I'm going to put DOCU, which had earnings, I believe, on Friday or maybe Thursday after hours. Either way, the first trading day after earnings was Friday. Had a nice little breakout of this, kind of tight range it's been in, but closing well off its highs. And there's the intraday. So really, after the gap up and it ran for the first 30 minutes, really straight sideways if you think about it. Definitely worth keeping an eye on for a follow-through day. AM. This looks like, hey, you saw the gap this morning, Friday morning around $1.10, and it ran to 454. Why didn't you trade the hell out of that? Well, here's what happened. Halt. I could do this all day. It probably halted 15 times, 20 times. I don't know. It was just, no, probably more than 20 times. It was just stupid. And again, I think that's based on the average range of the stock and maybe the closing price of the stock but the day before. So I definitely want to watch this. And what I'd like to see is this pull in for a couple days. And then it might be my favorite setup because then the range will have been wider. And I think the halts will be less frequent because it'll have more leeway on the move. But it was just stupid. And actually, I did make some money on pre-market and then one bid on a pullback that I didn't put out the idea because it was kind of dangerous bidding on a stock that was a serial halter. But I'm hoping this week maybe we get some nice trades in it after the halting calms down, right? GDRX kind of going sideways down here, but nice volume about a week ago. Topped out there and pulled back and is starting to curl back up on an intraday basis. It really had a nice close on Friday. So let's keep this one on watch. SMMT is what I call stupid extended, but on Friday, it did put in it was inside of Thursday's crazy range. It's had a huge move, so I don't really like thinking long on something like this, but at the same time, we have an inside day, and shorts are a little bit frustrated in this one. So if we get an A+ setup to the long side that looks like shorts are in trouble, I'll put some money to work, right? SHPH. Now, because this thing on its second day ran to almost 130 bucks, what it did when it came back to reality is scrunches all this together. So I've kind of got to scoot all that out of the picture so you can kind of see the setup a little better. Now you can see a big 2-day run. I'll give you the numbers. It went from $1.48 to $3.40. That's a huge move, right? It's more than doubled in 2 days. Pulled back, nice bounce. Looked like it was going to roll back over, but ended up closing strong again. So this one is actually pretty interesting to me. Even though when you just look at the daily like this, you can't even tell there's any kind of a setup, right? Because everything's scrunched together. So I'm going to put that one on a chart. OKTA had the gap up a week and a half ago and is really holding up pretty well. Maybe we get a second wave higher one of these days. W is Wayfair. I'm not in love with this, but yeah, I think he had earnings back here and had a nice run. Pulled back, put in a higher low and is starting to curl back up. And kind of interesting, topped out at the whole number 39. This thing kind of likes to top out at whole and half numbers. So, maybe back through 39, back here at, it broke 38 a little bit. But anyway, it feels like maybe it's bottomed. So I'm going to keep it on watch. That is not a chart that normally I would look at and say, ooh, I got to watch this one, right? It's not near breakout or anything, but I couldn't find a lot of stuff, so I added that one to the list. ACLX went to all-time highs on a breakout on Friday. We'll see if it gives a follow-through setup. PHVS had the big rip, gap down, and an inside day on much lower volume. So I'm looking for a third day play there. This is BIVI. Had this crazy 2-day pop back here, and then an inside day on much lower volume. The range on this thing's crazy though, so be careful with it. But if it gives a setup, I'm going to take a long in it. And then AVXL had the gap up back here on what looked like good results. I think this one is Alzheimer's related. Don't quote me on that. I'm a trader, not a scientist. But anyway, it's worked all the way back down near these lows from May and June. It's oversold any way you look at it. So I am looking for a potential bounce from this area. But you also have a lot of bag holders, right? So keep that in mind. I'm kind of trying to glance here. Yeah, it is Alzheimer's drug. So anyway, this one just goes on bounce watch. My final thoughts, just be careful this week. Again, I don't think Monday is going to be any crazy action, but I do think Tuesday, Wednesday, and maybe the rest of the week could get a little crazy. So I'm going to make sure that I'm focused on A+ setups. Let me bring up one thing. I'm going to put this up real quick for anybody that's maybe seeing one of my videos for the first time. I don't want them to think any of this is investment advice, or that I'm holding any of these right now, or that I will hold any of these overnight ever. I don't even hold my wife overnight, all right? I'm a day trader. I make my money between the opening bell and the closing bell, and sometimes pre-market and after hours. But beyond that, I do not hold overnight. So just understand that. I'm looking at the daily charts to get some recent high flyers, or what I would call in-play stocks. And then I'm using intraday to make my trades and, get out before the closing bell. All right, I'm done babbling. Have a great Sunday, everyone, and I'll see you guys in the chat room on Monday morning.